Hey, what's going on, man? First of all, I wanted to congratulate you. I think that's awesome that you made it through your first day and basically made it through your second day as well. I'm hoping that you're going to keep putting up your blogs and keep us informed as to how you're doing. I just kind of wanted to respond to some of the stuff you said in your video. Number one, you said that you're going to try to kill the smoking habit, but you're not really worried about the nicotine habit. And I get what you're saying. You know, there's lots of like the nicotine cessation methods, and you're doing that with your SafeCig and whatnot. I just, from my perspective and kind of my realm of thinking, I personally can't imagine the nicotine addiction being separate from the smoking addiction. Granted, you know, you can get your nicotine other ways and maybe get into the habit of using those methods. I feel like as long as you're addicted to nicotine, you're going to want to smoke. So, if you're not actually kicking the nicotine, I feel personally like you're doing yourself an injustice, only because you're making it more difficult for yourself. I mean, you, under your method that you're trying right now, you may never smoke again a day the rest of your life. But I feel like you would be suffering because you have the nicotine addiction still, and you're still going to want a cigarette. So you're just going to be killing yourself forever trying not to smoke. Whereas if you cut the nicotine, as the Alan Carr says in his book, and starve the nicotine monster, then you're never going to want a cigarette again, you know? So that's just my realm of thinking, and I would say for you, maybe you want to really try a Nicoderm, a Nicorette. Also, you're using your SafeCig, but it sounds like you might not be using it right. If they have a 0 and they have a 6 milligram, you might want to try to go onto their program. They probably have you start out for a couple weeks at their higher dose. And even with those safe cigarettes, as far as I know, the only reason that they're not really approved by the FDA is they haven't gone through the testing, and they really just, they don't give you the same amount of nicotine on every drag. Sure, there might be 6 milligrams that they're saying thereabouts. I don't know if that's even true, but from my understanding, it's not consistent. So I don't know. I'd love to hear how you do with your method and hear how you're feeling, because I mean it really could be beneficial to somebody that wants to quit the way you are. But I don't want any of this stuff to come across as negative, because I really am really happy for you. I've seen tons of people around me stop smoking as of late, and I'm really excited that you're quitting smoking as well. Hopefully people around you will see you doing it and they'll stop. But you're so young, man. I mean, there's no better time than now, because it's going to get harder and harder. Next year, you're going to be more addicted than you were this year, and quitting is going to be that much more difficult. But you got your whole life ahead of you. I started smoking around the same time you're quitting, and if I could go back, as any smoker would, I would have never had that first cigarette. But yeah, think about what I've said. You don't want to, there are only a few things in your life that you absolutely need. And that's food, water, shelter, I don't know, love. Don't make nicotine one of them. I mean, it sucks to be a slave to the cigarette, but I think it would probably still suck to be a slave to a SafeCig, or to be a slave to dip. Which, I mean, isn't really much better. You don't want to trade your lung cancer for mouth cancer or something. I don't know. It's all things that I've tried to do myself too. So I'm just speaking from experience, man. And I think you want to quit. So I think you can do it. Anyway, keep us up to date. I want to know what's going on, man. Have a good one, dude.